workers stole an empty plane from Seattle Tacoma Airport, flying in loops, as you can see, and upside down as Air Force fighter jets tried to stop him.
Unbelievable. Former FBI Special Agent Chad Jenkins, who also served as a U.S. Army Ranger, is here now live to weigh in. Chad, good morning. It's great to have you here.
Hey, good morning, Ed. How are you?
Fantastic. Now that we've had 24 hours or so to make a little more sense about something that truly was unbelievable when it first started breaking in the middle of the night, Friday into Saturday, what's your take on where we are in figuring out exactly what happened?
Yeah, we still don't have a ton of information, Ed. So the FBI right now is the lead agency to determine basically two questions off of this: the how and the why the individual was able to steal this aircraft and go ahead and do what he did. So that's what the FBI was brought in. Obviously, NSTB, FAA are all doing that as well. But those two questions will help determine what his motive was and how he facilitated it. Witness interviews, family interviews, as well as the evidence response team out at the crash site to recover the black boxes, and then also the forensic analysis of all of his electronic devices, social media scrub, to see what was that motivating factor to go ahead and do this act.
Chad, you know, authorities are saying that he was fully credentialed and had access to that cargo area where the plane was kept, that he used a tractor to place the plane on a runway and no security violations occurred. So he had access. Clearly he was doing the wrong things, but it looked like he was doing things that were okay.
Yeah, by all measures, he was credentialed. He could do all of the things that he did. May have even had, taxi access as well, where he could go ahead and move the aircraft, and that's why he would know the procedures to turn it on. But what we got to look at, and it's heartbreaking. I mean, you look at the radio transmissions. He self-admittedly stated he was a broken man. So it leads me to believe that there is some type of mental health concern for this individual. And all too often we see that, whether this isolated incident or all the violence that we're seeing throughout the United States, active shooter situations, we see too often when we do the retro investigation after the fact, we see these mental health disorders taking place. It's time that we have these conversations of not having it be a stigma, but actually being courageous to reach out for help before these horrific acts take place. And I think that's the route we need to go. Adding physical security measures, we continuously do that all the time, but we got to have that mental health talk to really get in the forefront of these horrific acts taking place.
They're tough conversations to have, but that is a great point. We live in a new world. Chad Jenkins, great to have your expertise this morning.
Thanks, Chad.
Good to see you.
Thanks. Have a great morning.
You too.